So we get my brother in to do custom liquid manure spreading, and then he had another guy in to help because this other guy has a really aggressive agitator or prop that goes on the back of the tractor, and we wanted to mix the manure tank up really good this time. So he came in with that late this morning and was gonna try mixing up the manure pit. And I went over to him just to check out how it was gonna go, and he just started it up, and it was like going for 2 or 3 minutes, and then a pin on the side of this agitator just snapped off, and then the arm on the opposite side of the agitator bent because there's so much pressure against this prop, and it's so long and it takes a lot of power. And anyway, so the arm on the one side bent, and then he quick shut it down, and then they had to get a zoom boom in to lift it out because he couldn't just lift it up with his 3-point hitch. And now he's got another one. It's a little bit shorter, but the same brand, and they're going to try that one to get it stirred up because they want to start hauling liquid manure tomorrow morning. Lots of fun.
So by the time our custom guy had the second auger hooked up last night to stir up the pit, it was too dark to get a video, but that ran well past when I went to bed. I'm not sure what time he pulled that out, but I do know that they started spreading at 4 a.m. this morning, and they have at least 2 spreaders going. And I'm just gonna walk over to the pit now to show you what's going on. Got the milk truck here picking up our milk. It's about 8:30 in the morning, and I'm hopping out here to show you the spreading action. As you can see, the auger is over here. It's pulled out. So it's finished mixing it, or essentially blending the pit, so that more of all the dry matter can get blended up with the liquid and get pumped through that pipe and into the liquid spreader. So one thing we had to keep in mind this year with the manure pit, as it's our first full year operating, we thought, holy smokes, we have way more manure than we thought. Like, we don't have enough field to spread all this on. And Eddie was working on making contracts with thinking about making contracts with some other farmers, some cash croppers, to trade manure for straw or something like that. But then we were advised this year was a hugely heavy rainfall year, so we had to account in for all the rainfall in there. I think Eddie said something like 12 inches of rainwater in there, so we don't have to do make any crazy deals yet, and we just have to kind of make it work. So I just talked to Beth. She has been at it since 4 a.m. and they won't get the pit empty, but they're spreading 50 plus 18 plus 2 loads on these different fields we have going on, so 70 loads.
Hey guys, so we're gonna clean the heifer barn out today. We'll show you cleaning the scrape alley out and with our skid steer, and then cleaning the pack out. And I clean the pack out every 2 weeks or so, maybe in the summertime every 3-4 weeks, and show you how that's done. Let's go. So all of our scrape alley manure from the heifer barn, we dump in our manure pit. And scrape it out once a day in the morning. We don't have an alley scraper in the heifer barn, but we dump it all in the manure pit, and it works great. The manure pit's about 100 feet from the barn, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So now we got the scrape alley cleaned out. I got the big heifers back here, and then we're going to chase all the little heifers on this side. And then that way that whole pack barn where all the young heifers are is cleared out. We'll switch all the gates and then I'll be able to clean them out. It looks a little dirty in there, and that's because if I wasn't cleaning them out today, I may have bedded them yesterday afternoon. But since I knew I was cleaning them out, I didn't want to be pushing out clean straw. So we'll get them all cleaned out nice, and then the air will be fresh and the straw will be nice and clean. You maybe notice different skid steer. There's a story to that. Oh, that's for another video. Now you may be wondering, why do we have so many heifers for 55 cows that we're milking? We have 100 heifers in this barn. Well, more than half of them are my brother's. My brother Dave's. He doesn't have any room to raise his heifers. So really, out of the 100 that are in here, I think 30 or 35 of them are mine. Or maybe 40, and about 60 or 65 are Dave's. So that's why there's so many heifers in here. But anyways, we're gonna clean this barn out, probably take an hour to push the manure out, and then we'll get 5 new straw bales and bed them up, and then get them back in here. So I got the barn cleaned out. Now I'm gonna bring in some straw bales and bed them up. As you can see, this floor is extremely uneven. There's edges of concrete missing in this spot here. There's a whole trench where there's no concrete. It's just pit run, bee gravel or whatever. And it's like the concrete was never poured there. I don't know if it was an old way of draining the water out of the barn or what. This concrete's probably from the 50s or the 60s, and they milked cows in here back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, Then there was beef cattle in it. But anyways, we're dealing with it. Gonna get some straw and we'll bed them up.
Kylie, do you like cows?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of cows?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's a pretty exciting day for us. We're moving our first heifer that was born on this farm from the heifer barn to the milking barn. So we've been milking for about 18 months now on our own. And the first animal that was born back in the first week of June 2022. We started at number 1 and now we're at number 52. So we have 52 heifers now and we're moving our first heifer. So the first heifer is not number 1, it's going to be number 2 because she conceived before number 1. She's going to be the first one that calves out of our first bunch of heifers, but we're moving calf number 2 and number 3 today, and then still one animal that came from my brother's farm. So anyways, we're pretty excited about that. We'll show you. Cheers. There's something funny for you.
What?
I just put those stakes up.
Yeah?
I just run over.
What? You ran one over?
I've never ran one over. I always thought people that did that, you know, I'd run. 2, 3, and what was the other one?
1263.
That's a big heifer. That's how big she is.
Wow, she is big.
It's probably because she's getting old
Oh,
compared to the other.
here's number 1.
Check, make sure I'm not hit. Am I close to that gate?
What?
Am I close to the gate?
Yeah, like you're touching it. Yeah.
As long as I'm not going to wreck.
Yeah, stop. Forward. I don't.
Better off just do it yourself.
Are you saying I'm useless help?
No. She can't get it. Come on. I need you to switch angles there.
What do you mean?
I think you're scared.
Oh. Is that the one you want?
chasing, no poking.
Success. What did you think of that?
Good.
How did it go?
Good.
So now that we've moved 3 heifers out, we're gonna move 5 or 6 heifers from each pen down the barn, because we will also be moving 3 heifers back into the youngest pen in the barn. So Eddie is now just choosing which heifers to move. So he is just sorting them by size and their age, and he knows their age just by the order of their ear tags. I see your strategy. So Eddie is just putting these collars on the heifers for heat detection. The Cow Scout program will monitor their activity, and these numbers are random from 1 to 40. Then once they're confirmed pregnant, they get the collar, it gets taken off, and then they get in, and then put back on a young one like this. And then when they go to the dairy barn, they get a new collar that corresponds with their ear tag number, which they'll wear throughout their milking career.
No, I want to do that.
Do you want to hold the camera? We got a better angle of Eddie here.
You gotta watch, they don't pinch your hands. Some heifers go wild when you do this. If they lift up right here, they'll squish your
I have
hand.
to hold it.
This video is going to wrap up shortly, but Eddie isn't quite done yet. He still has to bring the heifers loaded in the trailer to the dairy barn, then load up the 3 young calves from the calf yard to bring over to these small pack pens. Our daughter Kylie had had enough of filming, and quite frankly my hands were freezing. We will have to get footage of doing these other things another time. Thank you so much for watching, especially all the way to the end. If you enjoy this farming content, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. We are enjoying sharing our days here on this family dairy farm and invite you to join along in our journey. As always, thanks for supporting dairy.